First and foremost, I just want to thank everybody for being at the game today and bringing energy, and I appreciate the students on their way back for school from break. A bunch of students got back. Really appreciate that. That was awesome. And Schuylkill County, you never thought two college coaches from Schuylkill County would be playing a college basketball game, and it's Schuylkill County Day. So I appreciate everybody from Schuylkill County coming up to the game and being a part of this. Really neat, really neat. So, credit to Buffalo and George. He's building the program the right way. They got some great pieces of what he's building on, and they give you issues because they can spread you out and stuff like that. But just I'm glad I appreciate our guys just hanging in there and just playing the game and continue to move forward. 23 assists on 35 baskets. We want to talk about really sharing that thing and getting each other shots, giving up a good shot to get a great shot. I think at times we did that today. I thought in the second half the ball was really humming, and guys did a good job of getting each other open shots and opportunities. So good team win. Really proud of. I thought Zach Hicks was super today, and the way they played him, they didn't want to give up a three to him. But he did all the other stuff, plus 27, plus minus is big time. He did all the other stuff. So, there's guys that have some great stats, but I thought he was player of the game. Daniel.
How's it going, Mike?
All right, man. How you?
I'm doing well.
Great.
Yannick tied a career high with 27 points, and it seems like the pick and roll is really working with the lobs. What did you see out of him? And then along those lines, what is it like watching those guys develop that kind of chemistry behind the scenes?
Yeah, I mean that's the part where what you guys are all seeing. I always say on stage, it's the work behind the stage, and now let's call it as it is. Yannick has great feet, great hands, and he has great touch. So he could finish many different ways. You saw that today, but also vertical, right? Not everybody his size can just get up over people, and then Ace does a great job, and other guys throwing it up there for him. So when you could score different ways, but at the end of a roll or being down there around the rim, and you can throw it up there where rotation guys can't jump up there vertically and compete with him, that's to your advantage. That's why we wanted him in our program. But he's just getting better and better, and Ace is doing a great job of getting guys shots and seeing the roll, and he's a magician off ball screens, not just hitting a roller or scoring, but getting other guys shots or getting the defense in a rotation. And I like to say it's coaching, but I think those two just are really good players, and they have some great skill, and I think other guys are doing that as well. And when your best player is sharing the ball and is more about assists and points, other guys understand how important that is, and that's how you have 23 assists on 35 made baskets. So that's playing the right way. That's important.
Joe, and then Tyler.
Mike, this was the first time this season that this team had to play after a loss. How was this the type of response that you wanted to see after the Clemson game?
Yeah, I honestly wanted to be better. I thought at times today we were a little lackluster and playing down, but this happens. And now it gets real. The next game it gets real in the flagship program, in our conference. We'll be here, and so we got to be ready. We got to play better than we did tonight. We played better and much better than we did against Clemson. But the key to all this is every day we just got to continue to get better and learn from a win, a loss, a good practice, a bad practice. Like I challenged these guys when we started the season, how much better can we get from the first game to December 21st when we go home for Christmas break? How much? No matter what we go through, how much better? Because last year, the first half of the year was a disaster, and we didn't improve until after New Year's and in league play, which is really hard to do. And I commend the team last year of doing that. But we have to have great response to adversity. So it was that was a good positive thing today, but it's got to be 10 times better. But I trust these guys. I love these guys. They allow me to coach them hard. They allow me to hold them to a standard. They hold each other to a standard, and that's what you want early in the season.
Coach in the middle here. Nick has scored in double figures in each of the last 5 games. How have you seen him grow as a consistent, reliable option off the bench for you? And obviously, what's the level of impact that he can have coming off the bench?
Yeah, his impact is so much greater than the stat sheet. Now, him scoring like that and the consistency, then he moves up the scouting report for our opponents. That's great. That's what you want. That means he's playing well. But Nick's just a flat-out winner. He's one of my all-time favorite players I've ever coached. He brings joy and a smile to practice every day, to the games, to his teammates. He loves to compete. He's got an edge. He played in a great high school program for a great coach, AAU program. Grew up in St. Louis. Like he earned everything he has as a basketball player. But he gives so much to his team, and for him to score in double figures or make plays like he's capable of, but all the other stuff he does. And those are the type of dudes you want to build a basketball program around and a culture around, and he has such a stamp on what we do.
Coach, Freddie had a career high 16 points today. Also kind of felt like he got some big shots when the team needed him. Just what would you make of his performance today?
Yeah, well, I always say this, guys, that are transfer, we all think they're just gonna, like, from day one, just be the man, get it done, get double doubles. Like, it doesn't work that way. Anytime you change environments, you change style of play, you go from this position to that position, whatever it may be, the experience is different than what you probably think it's going to be. Like, everyone thinks they're going to come to college and get 20 and 10 every game. And you got to go through it. And I always almost say it's like a rehab. Like, it's a basketball rehab, but I would say it in a positive way that, hey, you got to learn to adjust. You got to learn to figure it out. And all the the transfers and the new guys coming into our program, there's a level and a time of an adjustment, and Freddie's going through that. And what I like about it is teammates are trying to help him through it. And today was a great example that they kept looking for him, and he knocked down those threes. Like, he could really shoot it, but he looks more comfortable out there. What I'm most impressed about Freddie is how intense he is guarding the ball and trying to do things the right way on defense. He never played a lick of defense in his life, and he is now. And we're holding him to a high standard, and he's responding. And I always say, get yourself going with defense, and offense will come, and it's coming. So I'm just really proud of him. Excuse me.
Mike, you mentioned finding that improvement between the beginning of the season and Christmas break, and you alluded to not being able to get that last year. What has been the biggest difference that you've seen, starting a season, with the team compared to where you were?
Well, we have 5 seniors that have been through it, know how I want to do things, know how our program is going to do things. The transfers, the character of our transfers elevated our program in June when they showed up. That was awesome. And these guys are very appreciative to be here. The young guys are just figuring it out, but the older guys and the transfers are helping the young guys. And so it doesn't mean it guarantees you win, Daniel, but it means you're doing things the right way. I'm super proud of these guys because they're not making it about themselves. Guys aren't catching feelings. First 24 days of practice, preseason practice, I mean, I put them through a lot. I went old school on them, and because they were responding to it and they were pulling each other through it. I think it really helped them bond, and I think it realized guys like we got more in this tank. And so I think that, but it's year 2, right? It's year 2, and the 5 seniors led by Ace and Puff and Nick, and Zach, Marco, like those guys just, they helped everybody. And when you have a team of servers, they serve each other and help each other. That's when you can do some good things, and you're seeing that. So we got a long way to go, and it gets real for us, but that's the fun of coaching these guys for me.
Mike, you referred to Purdue as a flagship program in the Big Ten. This is going to be your first time coaching against them in this building Thursday. So what's your message to Penn State fans as far as the atmosphere you want to see at
Show
Bryce
up
Jordan
and
Center?
sweat with us, right? A Big Ten game, that's the fun of it. These are the experiences as a college student. They have a lot of fun, and our players will be fired up to play against one of the best programs in the country for the last 10 years, and so that's just the fun of it, right? The experience of it, and let's compete. Like we all love competition around here. We all love the win, and let's see if you can help your Penn State Penn State players, the Penn State athletes find a way to win a game. That, you know, that's to me, and I want everybody to sweat with us. I've said it. I want everybody to be a part of this as we build this. And you know, the number one thing we could do is just, you know, fight like crazy for each other and for all of you and for all those students. And people take pride in how we're going about it, and then they want to be a part of it, and then they come here and act crazy and, you know, have 2 hours of fun being a college student and a fan of Penn State athletics. That's what's been really neat, seeing that for the last 2 years for me.
One more question for you.
Daniel.
Mike, we saw Yannick get teed up in the first half and then have to get, I think, calm down a little bit.
Yeah, he said something in German. I don't know what he said, but he knows he won't say that again. So.
What's it like watching him have that edge, play with that edge, especially as a big man and as a coach? What's it like trying to keep him?
Yeah, I always, you have to play with a competitive edge. You gotta be, you know, like a jagged edge. I want that. We're not giving in to anybody. We're not taking the seat to anybody, and we'll toe the line with anybody. I don't care. That's what's fun about competition. But I always like to use the term, like, you want to be a warrior out there, right? You want to compete like crazy, but you have to be a disciplined warrior. That no matter what, no other man can make you feel the way you don't want to and make you respond in the wrong way. Like, that's big to me. So I've been there as a player, and I've heard it as a coach. Like, words are words. Who cares? You know what I mean? So you're not getting me out of my competitive edge. And then those, you know, sometimes they're learning experiences. But I'm glad we have juice and energy and an edge, and you know, then be dead and don't react. But we got to learn from it, and you never react to hurt your team. You only react to help your team, and that's a lesson we'll all learn.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Mike.
See you.